Welcome home, Rep Pack. Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons, the show where I collect absolutely everything from the late 90s, 2000s, all the way to the modern day. And I'm also trying to create the world's biggest, but also unavailable at this time, Spongebob and Nickelodeon collection. But not just that, the creator and founder of this show actually is a pretty firm user of the puppy power.
Oh God, he's peeing on me.
But I hope you beautiful people are having an amazing day. And if you guys aren't, you know the drill. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. Camera flip.
Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born!
It's about to get a whole lot brighter, Rep Pack, because your boy is here. And today, I have a very special video for you guys. As you can see, we are in the Cartoon Network / Variety room here, which we don't do videos in here all that often, but some of you guys use your favorite videos. A lot of you guys are huge Cartoon Network fans and grew up with Cartoon Network as much, or even in some cases more, than Nickelodeon. So I know some of you guys are gonna love this one. Hit the like button for support of this video. But we are going to be doing something very special today. We are going to be covering a bunch of nostalgic and awesome Cartoon Network items, ranging from Scooby-Doo, Powerpuff Girls, and other stuff in the middle. But I know it's gonna be heavy in Scooby-Doo and Powerpuff Girls. I can't wait to get into it. Add a couple items here to the collection. But I picked up everything here. It's under the table currently.
I see something.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Ryan blurred that out. I picked this up from a Facebook Marketplace deal, and I paid $200 for everything, which I think might be the most we've ever spent on this series.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a lot.
I'm sorry, the card has been declined. It says insufficient funds.
But you're gonna see, I think it's definitely worth it overall. It was an amazing deal that I was able to work out. I wish I would have been able to film the pickup process, but it was a late night deal and it was last minute, and I wanted to make sure I got everything. So we have everything right here in a bin. I haven't gone through it too thoroughly yet, or checked prices, or see if the value was worth it yet. So we're gonna be doing that together. Anyway, let's get ready to go on a Cartoon Network field trip. Let's sit on down and get into it. All right, so let's get into this. What should I start with? Something Scooby? Something?
Oh, since you wanted to reference Foster's, you got any in there? You got some Foster friends?
Foster's friends. Foster's friends. I don't want to look through everything here, but how about this?
What?
Some kids are less creative than others. This is my imaginary friend, not licensed or trademarked. Okay, yes, there is a Foster's Home item, but I don't know if I'm gonna start with that. Let's go ahead and get into our first item here. This one's kind of a variety item, so let's do it. We have Cartoon Network Game Boy Advance video. So I went with this one first because it's got a little bit of everybody on there. You got Dexter, Courage, the Eds, and they also have Johnny Bravo on there. So I don't know if we have another one. We have a lot of these for the Nickelodeon collection, but I think this is the first one I've ever been able to add as far as Cartoon Network goes. But you see on the back here, you get one episode of Dexter's Lab, Double Trouble. You got Courage the Cowardly Dog, The Shadow of Courage. You have Johnny Bravo, Cookie Crisis, and you get Ed, Edd n Eddy's A Glass of Warm Ed. So you got 4 episodes of 4 different shows, just really solid, and as you can see, it is brand new sealed. And if you guys had any of these Game Boy Advance videos growing up, let me know which ones you had, because I'm sure you probably watched it until the dust, because if you were like me, I only had like 1 or 2, and I watched all of those episodes so many times that those are some of the most like encapsulated episodes in my mind. Those ones were Nickelodeon, but I would have liked to have one like this.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this one. I already know the value on this one. It's about $15. Not a huge money back on our total of it's hard to even say it. $200. But it's some of it. And don't expect us to do this big of a budget that often. This was just you'll see why as we get through this collection. It was definitely a good pickup, but whew, $15 ain't looking too close yet. but a nice $15 bill, brand new sealed. Okay, so you wanted a little bit of Foster's, right?
Yes, always.
You wanted it very, very much.
That is so adorable. What the heck?
This is Barry. So she's got the tag on it right there. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is a Barry plush, and this guy, believe it or not, is very, very rare. This particular plush was something that they released at Hot Topic, and it's by Kelly Toys, but the plushie is designed with like an extreme lack of fluff. All of them are like this. There's a blue one, I believe. There's this berry one, and I feel like maybe there's one more, But they are designed to be like this very loose plushie, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I love plushies that are more, you know, solid. They almost kind of work as a figure in themselves, and then, you know, you can also squeeze them for their plush aspect. This one is straight up like the, you know, that body pillow you've had in your bedroom that you like use to like oh, maybe just me, like you put in between your legs, you know, because that's just comfortable. Don't make this weird. It's like one of those you've had for like 10 years and it's just so like malleable and washed out. So it is rare, but I don't know where do you even put this because it's in such bungee form. But nonetheless, it is by Cartoon Network, to the CN logo down there, and it still has the tag on it, brand new. So for the value on this one, I'm not 100% sure. I just know that they're rare and you don't see them all the time, so I'll have to take a look real quick. There's actually a MAC one that's gone for $200. The blue one is sold for like $80, $70. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and say because Barry is not really, it's not blue or MAC, you know, it's probably, some cases that can make it rarer, but I feel like Barry was like kind of I mean, she might have appeared more than one time, but I think she kind of appeared in like one episode, and that was pretty much it.
I'm Barry.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say for Barry, let's just do, how about 50?
50?
Yeah.
I guess that's a fair price.
Yeah, I don't want to give her too much value, but I don't want to give her too little too. So let's go ahead and do 50, which may seem crazy for this type of plushie, but that just tells you how uncommon Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends product is, that even stuff that's like this not well made is still going for that kind of money. The MAC one is just as malleable. He's like this like beanbag almost. But that's just how they did him. But let's go ahead and go to the next item. So what does that bring us to?
65.
Woo, it looks a little better. We're getting closer. All right, next item here. Okay, Mitchell, I think you're gonna love this one. We have a Scooby-Doo clock.
Ooh, a howling hour, that's sick.
Yeah, it's not super clean, so I'm gonna have to clean it up myself a little bit later. It looks like they probably had it in storage or something like that. Oh, wait, do you hear that?
Wait, I can see it's moving.
Oh man, dude, that is crazy. I haven't heard like the tick-tock of a clock, and I don't even know how, well, actually the Garfield video. But before that, a long time. Like, I feel like I never hear clocks anymore. I remember when we were kids, it felt like everywhere you went, like you went to the post office, you went to the bank, you went to school.
Just sitting in school, yeah.
Yeah, you would, oh yeah, during a test, it's all you could hear in the room. It's like, we were able to be silent enough for the clock to be ticking and you hear it in the background. That's how stressed all of us were to fail.
Yeah.
So I cleaned it up a little bit here. You can see it, it's cleaning off decently.
Oh, dang, it's shiny.
Yeah, it's shining up there. And I love the aesthetic of it too. It's 1998 as well. You can see on the bottom there, 1998. So this clock is about 25 years old. And I don't know how to set the alarm on this, but you can hear it revving up, so that way the alarm can go on the inside there. And there's a dial on the back here to adjust the alarm as well too. I already set that alarm, so at some point, maybe during this video or later on tonight, to scare the hell out of me, or the hell out of me, it might go off. But I don't know what value this guy has, to be honest. Okay, so after doing a little bit of research, if this thing was brand new sealed for 1998, you're looking at $75 to $100.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, it is when it's sealed. But I thought about this also. This clock is still ticking, and the batteries in this seem like they'd be kind of hard to get out because there's only screws back here. And this is from 1998. This thing has literally been ticking by in one place or another for over 25 years. It has recorded history.
That is crazy. What the heck?
That's unbelievable. Like, you know, that's like flipping an hourglass and then coming back in 20 years and it's just barely getting to the last drops, essentially. But this guy, used condition, can go for $30 to $35. But since this one does have some scratches and some dings, you know, it's not in perfect shape, let's just go ahead and do $20.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, we're a little under just to be safe as well. All right, so 20 bucks on the Scooby-Doo Howling Hour clock. Oh man, I don't even know, man. Some of this stuff you guys may see me, because like with Cartoon Network we have even less room, and I'm not trying to like categorize every single item. I just like collecting the stuff that I like and like what I have space for. This one, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not, but Fred and Scooby are looking a little bit smaller.
And this clock is looking a little better.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know, but if I do end up getting rid of any of this stuff, of course you guys will probably see it over on Whatnot. But this guy right now, I don't know, he's a firm hold on for me right now. All right, let's see here. You want some more Scooby? You want some Powerpuff? What do you want?
Ooh, you got a little Powerpuff for me?
Yeah, I got a little Powerpuff for you. I'm not gonna say that ever again. But for this one time exclusively, I do have some Powerpuff for you.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
So these right here are brand new sealed Powerpuff Girls
Ooh.
tins. So this is from literally, you talk about Y2K, this is as Y2K as it gets. the year
2000.
man. They thought that this would be the only thing working in 2001. All the computers were going down, everything was breaking, planes were gonna be flying out of the air, but you know what would stay in the air?
A tin.
No, not the tin, Mitchell. The Powerpuff Girls. And also, maybe their tin. But look at the aesthetic on it, man. Like, that is my childhood in a banner, essentially. That is so freaking cool. You get the old school Cartoon Network logo there. And then on the back, you got it right here, too. And it's like, when I was a kid, I didn't even know that Warner Brothers owned Cartoon Network, but it was there from the beginning, you know? Like, they always had that advertising there. The same thing with, like, Paramount or Viacom owning Nickelodeon. As a kid, you're just not aware. You're, like, watching the Rugrats movie, you see that Paramount intro come in, you're like, come on, come on. Move these damn mountains. I don't care about these mountains. I'm here to watch the Rugrats. But you see on there, you've got Bubbles, Buttercup, and of course Blossom. Really cute. It's got like the decal on it, but then at the same time, between the decals, it like has the accents of the actual tin within it as well for like the highlights of it to give it like a holographic look. But this is brand new, spanking sealed. But before we price this one, we're gonna get all of these out because I have multiple. We have
multiple, dang.
Multiple still sealed. We have the Powerpuff Girls puzzle tin. So how this one works is, I mean, I think we can actually open them from the bottom maybe. Yeah, they're like plastic, like they're sealed in with like the stickiness. So we might be able to get this one out just to take a look at it. So if you open it up, it actually, you can twist it like this, and then that's the lid for this one.
What the heck?
And then you lift up the next one and it becomes like multiple compartments. So this one right here, you can put your erasers. This one right here, you can put your erasers, you know, those little sharp ones you put on the top of a pencil that are like weird shape.
Yeah.
I don't know why they picked that shape, but it makes sense. I guess they go in between the lines. This thing. And then this, you can put those little, you know, those little like silicone things you put around your pencil for grip, because our childhood hands were in such shambles and carpal tunnel that we needed to have these little sponges.
Yeah.
These things. Let me know if you had those or if you had all of those. I did. So a really cool one there, and that's just like a little add-on. It goes with this. Like, the quality on this stuff, you know, to be able to like have this in your backpack. This is your storage box or lunch box possibly, and this is your like carrying case. And then on top of that, you can get this for your pencils.
What the heck?
Yeah, this one's sealed, but it's like unwrapping slowly here. But I'll keep it in the packaging just for protection. You can see it's got the bubbles all over it. It's got the Powerpuff Girls within it, and it says Powerpuff Girls right here too in like a cursive font. But this whole little setup, man, you would have like the most legit and clean setup of like any kid ever at that time.
Especially if you're like a Powerpuff fan.
Yeah, you also feel like you're carrying like a bulletproof plate in your backpack because it's so much metal. And like, you know, like you have those lunch boxes when you're a kid that are like the malleable ones. We talked about them, the sandwich smashers. But the good thing about them is they're very flexible, you know, so like it can warp to your back a little bit. These things, man, you're gonna feel this on your back.
Yeah.
Not bending at all. And this thing is gonna feel like a bullet bill in your backpack just sitting in there. But it's still just sweet, and the quality on it too, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, you could use this for several years and not probably worry about it breaking down or tearing or just getting gross, because you can clean it out very easily. I don't know the prices on these guys, but just beautiful setup there. And we're not even done yet. We're
Not even done yet.
with the Powerpuff tinage. We have another one right
What
here.
the heck?
Yes, this one is even cuter. I think this is the cutest
Ooh.
one. It's a glitter star Powerpuff Girls tin. You can see it's still perfectly sealed inside of the plastic wrap there. But you get the Powerpuff Girls in the front here with the glitter like aesthetic on the front. And then on the back, you get this as well too.
Ooh.
But the Powerpuff Girls like knew what Y2, like, I mean, there were so many things that they considered Y2K at that time. You had Bratz, you had LPS, a Little Pet Shop, you have Hello Kitty. I mean, Hello Kitty's been around for a while, but Sanrio was huge in the Y2K era. But it's like Powerpuff knew what it was so well. Like, it just looks like everything we see now with like people that rap like the Y2K aesthetic. It's like the embodiment of that. It's really beautiful, every single piece here. So I don't know the prices on them. We're gonna try to get a ballpark on this. Okay, so we did some research, and believe it or not, this one's actually the most expensive. This guy goes for we saw 120 used. So it's crazy. I'm telling you guys, some of these prices are gonna seem insane comparatively to some of the Nickelodeon stuff, because Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers is just not as powerful in merchandising when it comes to their Cartoon Network stuff as they are with like DC or a lot of the other stuff they do. Nor are they as powerful as like Paramount or Viacom with releasing so much merchandise. So everything for Cartoon Network usually is pretty semi-rare. Look, if you have something Cartoon Network in your collection, depending on what it is, there's a good chance if it's older, it might be pretty rare. So this guy right here goes for used $20. This is brand new sealed. We're still gonna give it 20 just so we can make sure we just blow this thing out the water. This one goes for 25. This one goes, again, used for 10 to 15. This one's new, but it is open, so we're gonna go ahead and do 10 to 15. And then this one we could not find, but similar ones were selling to 30. I think realistically this whole lot could be over $100, but just so we can be safe, we decided to do 20, 20, 20, 20. So making it
$80.
Yeah, making it $80 for all 4 of these, like
which put us at 165.
yeah, 165, and we're just scratching the surface of this, Mitchell. There's some stuff in here I can't. I'm just happy because I'm like recovery. I was like all day I was thinking, oh my gosh, that was a big amount of money to spend. But at the same time, hey man, we're clearing it. Okay, so we're at 160. You said
165.
Let's go. Okay, so let's keep this moving. Let's see if we can break that 200. Come on, Rat Pack. I need your support. Smash the like button for good luck. We need to break this 200 and not break the table, but break the 200. So next up, I have some disc here. So we have a few here. This one is, I love this so much.
Oh my gosh. What has John Cena not done?
The answer to that is nothing. There's nothing he hasn't done. You also have The Undertaker, and I don't know who this guy is, but I'm sure he's a pretty famous wrestler too. He has to be.
Some kind of caveman.
Yeah, this is the Flintstone Stone Age Smackdown. Absolutely amazing. You get to see wrestlers appear in the Flintstones. I've never seen this before, so I am hyped. And I mean, you guys know I'm trying to collect all the Scooby-Doo media here, and the WWE has appeared in quite a few Scooby-Doo movies. At least I can, at the top of my head, I can think of maybe 2 to 3. But I have to watch this one, man. I'm more into like the 90s WWE stuff, but I do love John Cena. I watched it a little bit up until like maybe 2005, 2006. I mean, The Undertaker I'm very familiar with. John Cena I'm very familiar with. A lot of the new ones I'm not, but it looks like they kind of, usually pick with those kind of guys for the most part in these. So I'm hyped to check it out, and here's a little mini clip of that.
The world's biggest superstars.
John Cena Stone, The Undertaker, Daniel Bryan, The Boulder Queen, and Mr. McMagma.
So not just that, we also have Ben 10, Protector of Earth. And I mean, it looks pretty solid here.
His grin is crazy. His little smirk.
What alien is he turning into? Looks like he's turning into Heat Blast there.
It's hard to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely Heat Blast.
The Omnitrix is in your control. And some of you guys, I know that a lot of people that are into like the early Cartoon Network stuff aren't that familiar with Ben 10, but for me, Ben 10 is like the Danny Phantom of Cartoon Network. Like, he is just so freaking sick. So many cool powers he has, and he develops in so many ways. He even becomes Ben 10,000. You have Alien X. There's just so much sickness to Ben 10. He's probably like, in my opinion, story and just coolness factor up there with like, maybe I shouldn't say the Danny Phantom, the Avatar, the Last Airbender of Cartoon Network in some ways, if that's not already like Adventure Time kind of too. But Ben 10 is just so amazing to me, and me and Mitchell both grew up watching Ben 10 a lot. So you have the game cover there, and let's check the disc out. The disc is in pretty bad shape. I mean, it probably plays. Usually video games are a little bit more solid to play despite being scratched than DVDs are, but it's still not in the best shape at all. So I don't know what to value this one. We'll go ahead and check that out. We'll do all the discs together. But this one is awesome. Brand new sealed. Ooh. Mucha Lucha. And this right here is the Heart of Lucha, which is the first 6 episodes of the series. And I don't believe that Mucha Lucha actually had a complete series DVD. So this is like the starting point if you wanted to get that nostalgic factor right there.
I remember the Flea a lot.
Okay, see if you remember their names. What is his name?
The Flea. Is it Manny? No.
I'll give you a hint. Like, signature move was like a flying pinball.
Oh.
What does a pinball do off the walls?
Bounce. Oh, Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Yeah, there you go. That's
yes.
what it was.
Ricochet. And then her name, I don't remember.
That's Claire.
And this is Buena Girl. We found out her name is Buena Girl, which translates to good girl.
She's confident,
I shall not fail!
athletic,
I am Buena Girl!
but they all had something cool and unique. And as a Pokemon fan, as a man who like, you know, Powerpuff Girls, I love like the diversity, like, you know, where they have like multiple characters that you can kind of attach to that you can relate to. And I think there's just so many cool ones in that one. Personally, my favorite as a kid was Ricochet though. I was always like, you know, main man kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I thought Ricochet was dope, and I just loved the fact that he was just like so fast and like was able to fly around the school. Yeah, I mean, just a really awesome show there. And you get a behind the scenes, a music video, a PC download game, build your own wrestler PC simulation game. Really cool disc there, and it's still sealed. So I don't even know the value on these guys. Let's just go ahead and check them out. I think that might be the last disc, so we can check that off. Let's take a look. All right, so values on this guy. This guy is really cheap. You can find it still sealed for like $5, $10. But I'm gonna go and say, since this one's open, you know, it is still awesome though. You get the digital downloaded version of it, like $3. I mean, at the best case, $5. Let's just go ahead and go with $3 just to make it easier. The Ben 10 game, he can go from anywhere from $8 to $10, but considering it's in such bad shape, let's just go ahead and do $5. And then this one right here, most recently sold for $22. So altogether, that brings us to a total of $30 for the disc here, mostly being the Mucha Lucha one because the fact that it is sealed. And this is one of the harder to, you know, keep safe cases because it's a cardboard box, which is a plastic paneling on the cheaper eras of DVD like releases. So they were kind of hard to keep in good shape. So sealed is not easy to find. So
Kind of cool though. There's little Warner Brothers logos on the bottom of the seal.
Yeah, the little seal of protection. Like, oh, if you see these Warners of the Coast,
Warners of the Coast
logos disappear, and that means something scammery is happening.
That puts us at only $5 away.
Let's go! All right, let's get something $5 out of here. What's up, Mr. $5 Fred? We have the Doorables for Fred.
Dorbs.
Okay, we have the Dorbs here. I said Doorables first time we did this. It's Dorbs, not Doorables.
I wish they made Doorables.
I wish he was Adorables. But this is from a weird Funko line that is now discontinued.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but I mean, I do think they're kind of cute.
Some of them are, yeah.
It's just Funko is such a big company that...
Oh, you don't like these new Iron Man wireless earbuds?
Actually, I would rather
ones?
shove pencils in my ears right now than put on Funko headphones right now. I love Funko. I love them, but they just do the most random stuff, and then they discontinue stuff that's like kind of cool. Like the Dorbs weren't perfect. I think the last Dorbs I remember getting were the Ren and Stimpy ones. We have some Naruto ones as well, but I mean, I kind of would like to have the Scooby-Doo setup.
Oh, you got a couple of the villains too. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like the only one we have in the collection now is Fred, so I mean, I might keep him, but at the same time, it's like, will I ever find those other ones?
Probably not.
Probably not. So like, do I want this? Is it gonna be good to have just a solo, like a Fred? Fred's not like, I love Fred. He's awesome, but like, he's not like, oh, stand alone. Like if there's a Scooby or Shaggy, they would stand alone for me because I love both those characters so much. But Fred, it's just kind of missing something without the rest of the crew, or at least the Mystery Machine. But the value on him, I think it's about $10. So we'll just give it $10 on screen to clear us.
By $5.
Yeah! $5. So we have broken our $200 total here. Let's keep it going, man. Okay, so you want to go big or some small stuff?
Let's do another small stuff.
Ooh, okay, I thought you were gonna say go big or go home, but okay, some small stuff.
Go big or go home.
We have a Scooby-Doo waist basketball hoop. So this is just a classic Scooby-Doo, you know, we've all seen this in cartoon and like Even Stevens episodes where they throw their ball of trash and it goes through a hoop and into the trash can, and you're like, oh man, I would love that. And then you get it and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of am not that good at throwing things in there. But you know what you gotta do when you do it? Kobe! And then you go pick it up. But it says hang time, and it's got the red, white, and blue laces on it. And this is the old Cartoon Network, but this is the green label of Scooby-Doo era. So this would be probably the 90s. It doesn't have an exact year on here, but I would assume probably like 98, 99. And it's got an actual, the only metal that was used on this was for the actual like hoop itself. It's all cardboard. I don't know the value on this guy, but it is a small here and still really cute, you know?
Adorable.
Oh, you can say adorable, but I can't say adorable.
I said that's adorable.
Oh, okay. All right, so similar ones have sold for $10 to $15. Let's just go with the bare minimum because this one's, you know, a little bit beat up, the bag and packaging. Let's just go with $10 for the Scooby-Doo basketball hoop. All right, now let's go big or go home.
Okay.
This one right here, I hope that it made it home safe. This right here is all that came with it. I assume maybe it had a box.
Styrofoam.
Yeah, it's just styrofoam. So when the Powerpuff Girls came out and the movie came out and everything like that, things were huge, and they actually made, just like we have for SpongeBob, animation maquettes. So animation maquettes, essentially what they are artist-proof versions of the actual characters. So that way that the animators, when they're drawing them, they can make sure that everybody across the board of the people drawing the characters can make sure they look accurate, that every single spot detail is where it's supposed to be when the final product comes out. So they made animator maquettes that collectors could also get, limited to, I believe, 1,000 pieces. This is even crazier. Of those 1,000 pieces, they made 50 artist-proof versions that were unpainted, essentially stopped in the production line before they added the paint onto the characters. Right here, we have animator maquette, artist-proof for Bubbles.
Ooh.
Yes, I mean, you know I like yellow, and of the Powerpuff Girls, I personally, it always flip-flops for me, but I think my favorite is Bubbles. You know, she kind of has like a SpongeBob personality. She's got that enduring spirit that I love of just like people that can be happy through the worst situations, and when she is sad, it's very, very strong and emotive because it is not that common, just like with SpongeBob and a lot of other characters that I love.
Don't make her angry. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. And she also can be very, very fierce, but it takes a lot to push them there, you know?
Yeah.
So like by the time you get them there, it's probably pretty deserving. So we have the one for Bubbles here. Let's get this out safely. Okay, it looks like it is okay.
A little logo on the bottom.
Yes, so you can see the logos there, and this is number 36 out of 50. I had no clue what number we got either. Oh man, there it is. So this is
sick.
The animator maquette, artist proof for Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, and you can see all the little details there. I think that probably the most like notable detail about Bubbles that could be forgotten is actually the little X in the back of her head, just kind of showing the separation of her hair going into those ponytails. So there it is. We have the artist proof version of the animator maquette for Bubbles. And I think it's cool because the animator maquettes, they also, in some cases like this one, they show the personality of the characters a little bit too. So there is an artist proof version for Buttercup as well, and she looks very fierce, which can show you the detail and fiercity of her character as you're doing the artwork. You can keep that in mind. For Bubbles, she looks very innocent, very sweet.
Big smile.
Yeah, and very, very happy overall, and just excited to be doing what she's doing. So that's in the figure as well to kind of develop that mindset while you're drawing the character. So this one right here, I have no clue on the value. We did find a recent sale of the Buttercup one though, and this one sold for over $300.
That's insane.
Unreal. So this alone was the thing I was like, okay, you know, I didn't even argue with the price. I'm like, if you want 200, we'll do 200. And I had no clue that it was even worth 300. I just saw that it was 1 out of 50, you know? 1 out of 50 to me, I was like, I don't even care if it's worth $40, if it's worth $20. Eventually, this thing's gonna be worth more than the overall price, you know?
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, we have the Bubbles one here. Let me put everything back here. I'm gonna see if I can find the Bubbles one. There's only 50, so the sales for these aren't that common because of those 50, they've been around since 2000. Some have probably gotten broken, some have maybe been donated, then broken. It's a very fragile figure, so you never know what can happen throughout time. Maybe only 20 of them are around, maybe only 25, maybe 49. It could be a lot, you know, you never know. But let's take a look and see if we can find it. Okay, so considering the only one I can find online that was recently sold was Buttercup, that sold for $300, and they're asking $600 for Mojo Jojo. Let's just be on the low side. I'm thinking $250.
Yeah, and that's, who knows, it could be worth way more than that.
Yeah, and that was a bid, so I mean, who knows, you probably could ask more. I'm gonna go ahead and say $250 though, and I mean, I would love to get the other ones, but this one was just a circumstantial luck one. That's just too expensive. I would love to get the Blossom and at least the Buttercup. I mean, the Mojo Jojo would be like, oh, if I just had one, you know?
Yeah, just to encompass them all.
Yeah, exactly. But I would love to get the Bubbles and Buttercup, but that's just way out of my price range. But I'm so grateful and happy that we have the Bubbles one here. Like, that's incredible. And if I were to pick one of them, it probably would have been Blossom or also Bubbles. So I'm happy that we at least got one though. And unbelievable deal. So 250. So that item alone
Yeah.
would have cleared us. You know, I'm just grateful and so happy. So thank you guys so much for being here for this, and just a freaking unbelievable, one of the greatest finds I think probably in this channel's history. Randomly, I didn't even know that it was that much until we were looking it up right now. I thought like maybe like 50, 100 at the most, but that is crazy. So at the minimum 250. If Buttercup goes for 300. So an amazing, what is our whopping total right now?
$465.
Oh my gosh, Scooby's gonna have to hold me up, man. This is a wave of just unreal. It's like I want to display her, but
that is sketch.
it's so valuable in comparison to a lot of things that it's like, unless I have some kind of glass case in here one day,
Yeah.
you know, that's the only way. I'm gonna put her back in the bubble wrap. She's like, no, I've been in that bag for 25 years. This was my chance to finally get out. Okay, man, that was unreal. And I'm not even done here. I mean, there's a couple big items in here still left.
But what a testament to Cartoon Network's like value, because like some of those SpongeBob lot boxes we hit like $200, $300, but like that's already bordered $65.
Exactly, Cartoon Network, exactly. A testament to how rare really everything for Cartoon Network is. I mean, like, I love collecting Nickelodeon because there is that wide range of like, some products can be really expensive, but there is a lot of, you know, less expensive items because they're still relatively mass produced on the scale of some of the Cartoon Network stuff. You know, some of the Cartoon Network stuff only came out in America and was in limited quantities, whereas like Nickelodeon, a lot of the stuff you'll see it in German versions, Spanish versions, English versions. You know, you do see some Cartoon Network stuff like that, but not nearly as much as you do with anything that Viacom releases. So yeah, like I said, best word is a testament to Cartoon Network's power of their merchandise and the scarcity of it. Really unreal. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the next items here. So we did a lot of Powerpuff Girls tins. We did some other tins. I think we get back to the tin. There's a lot of tins in this lot. You gotta love tins. We have a Scooby-Doo
What the heck?
skateboard ramp tin.
That is sick.
Yes, so you can see we got the Scooby-Doo right here. Apparently it held candy at some point. And you know who make this?
Is it Tim?
No, it's not a
Or
tin
Tin?
box company. They work exclusively with Nickelodeon. This was by Harvest Products Gift, but not by Frankfurt, but by Franklin Park.
What the heck?
And what's crazy is opening it up here, they actually have some
Whoa.
old like concert tickets. This is from the year 2000. From 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. This person was at the Cypress Hill Smokeout. An amazing, random little nostalgic bomb to be in there. But you know what this is also perfect for, and I brought on the side here, Mitchell?
No.
It says ride the pipe, and that's what we're doing here. Yes. You know I love flexing my fingerboarding skills, Mitchell.
That skateboard seems abnormally large.
It's not abnormally large, it's just really thick.
It's a pro.
Alright, so on that note, let's rate this tin. Alright, so we have the Scooby-Doo skateboard ramp here. I just think that thing is dope. I mean, it isn't sealed because obviously it had candy in it at some point, but we can still rank it. And then we also have this one too, the
Ooh.
Monster Truck.
What the heck?
Yes, the Monster Truck Scooby-Doo tin as well. And Scooby-Doo and Monster Trucks go way back. So, I mean, Scooby-Doo actually has his own official Monster Truck that plays in Monster Truck. And if you guys don't know how Monster Trucking or Monster Jam kind of works, it's similar to WWE in a fashion that all of the cars kind of have a character. They have different drivers, but all the cars kind of have a character. They have like enemies. They have sometimes cohesive stories with what the cars are doing. There's a little bit of a narrative there, somewhat. And Scooby-Doo was one of the rideable monster trucks for a very long time. And then again, as I just grabbing this movie twice today for two different things, we have this movie that's pretty much about monster trucks, the Scooby-Doo Speed Demon here. And they even have this 2-pack right here of the original Scooby-Doo monster truck along with the Mystery Machine version of the monster truck. I think you can see the Mystery Machine monster truck a little better right here. So, I mean, Scooby-Doo, monster trucks, they go back. They've been friends for years. So, an awesome one here. This, again, has the tag on it. Let's see if this has any concert tickets in there. Ah, no, this one's empty. Let's go ahead and value these guys. I have no clue, and I'm not sure what we'll do with these guys for sure. I might
They
keep...
kind of go hand in hand though, because you know, monster truck go up a little half pipe.
That's true. If a monster truck went up a half pipe though, the point of the half pipe is to eventually come back down. So a monster truck, boom, or it goes
It does a cool backflip.
and then has to go right back that way. Maybe a 180. There we go. All right, so let's just try to find the values on these, but it's gonna be kind of hard probably because they aren't technically new. So if these were brand new sealed, they would be $30 each. But being open, they go for about 10 to 15 with shipping. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's just do 25 for both.
Okay, that's
It's like a little bit in the middle. So 25 for both of the tins, being that they are from the year 2000s. Really cool. What's your favorite one? For me, it's the half pipe one. It's a very inconvenient and like very like circumstantial. Like you can't fit a lot of stuff in that. It's like very weird shape, and a lot of stuff is gonna fly into that little corner there. You won't be able to grab it. But besides that, it's just kind of sick.
I'm gonna go with the monster truck, even though as same as that. It's just there's no. It's very inconvenient. Maybe your sandwich and then like what else, you know?
Some like grapes on the side for the wheels. It's weird, but I think, yeah, it's good that we both like a different one, though. But you guys let us know, which one you prefer. I think I'm going with the half pipe one, though. So we have this guy right here, which is a Powerpuff Girls Easter egg.
Heck?
Nothing too crazy about this one. It's an Easter egg that contains 60 stickers inside of it. The UPC is like cut out for whatever reason. You can see some of the stickers there on the side, like a little profile of them. They're 2020. I'd say maybe $5, just because it's not in the best shape, and it's like stickers. Like sometimes with products, it's like, okay, you could probably own, unless they recreate this, the only way to get it is the vintage one. Stickers are kind of ever long, you know? Like they can always make more stickers.
Anytime they want, yeah.
Yeah, and if you wanted stickers, you don't have to buy like 90s ones to get it, like with the maquette or, you know, some of these tins and stuff. You could just buy Powerpuff Girl stickers right now. So I'm gonna say $5. Next up, The Amazing World of Gumball. We have a notebook, and this one again is very modern. I mean, it's so tough. Cartoon Network stuff, like something like this could be like $5 or be like $50. I just don't know. So I'm gonna have to check on it, but I would suspect maybe $5. All right, so here we have it. This guy's about $10, so we'll go ahead and give it $10 on screen.
$505.
That is a genius price. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. All right, so the next item up here, we have egg.
Ooh, what the heck?
Yeah, so we already have this actually, but for whatever reason in the lot was this random Ed. I was like, do you have more of these? Like, do you have more of these available? And he looked around, he didn't have any other one. I don't know how he would have gotten just a singular Ed, but nonetheless, that's who we have here. He's not in perfect shape. He's got a couple little scrapes here and whatnot. A little sun bleached maybe on the back of the head there.
More than just a little bit. The whole thing is brown instead of purple.
Yeah, you're right, huh? It should be purple. You're exactly right. It's like brown on the sides rather than purple. So, I mean, it's definitely a lot different from the one we have here in the cavern.
It's like he was laying on his face.
Yeah, not the best condition at all. But that one up there, I mean, goes for about 50. So I'm going to say probably for this one, maybe 25.
I mean, yeah, it's still something you don't see very often. So.
Yeah, and his face still looks good. Like, his face still looks good and displayable. So I'm going to say probably $25 for the Ed Boy here.
Ed Boy.
Yeah. Or as Ralph says, $25 is enough to feed a whole village. All right, so let's go ahead and do the next one here. We had a couple more Scooby items, and then we are on our last item here. So next up here, we have the Mystery Machine card box. So this comes with a bunch of different like flash cards with different games you can play in them. So you can see all the different cards there. It is missing a wipe and a marker because these are all cards you can write on and then wipe it away to reuse them. So it's missing that wipe, and it's also missing the marker. Likely the marker wouldn't have worked anyway, but the wipe would have been cool. So let's just take a look here. We have the Scary Scramble, Secret Clues, and Mystery Match. Let's go ahead and check out Creepy Clues here. So for this one, how it works is you have a little like rubric there of what number applies to which letter. So you can read this right here, and you can put the letters in there and kind of figure out the little secret message, if you will.
The Phantom is a... Oh, okay. The Phantom is a phony.
The Phantom is a phony. A big fat phony, if you will. So you have a bunch of them here. They're little book. I thought they were flashcards, but it turns out they're like little books. So here's one for Scary Scrambler, and it's similar in the sense of like you have the letters there and you have to try to de-scramble the words. So of course that one's zombie. What do we have here next?
We got werewolf or man-wolf.
Man-wolf.
Ooh, Redbeard.
Okay, okay.
Creeper.
Really cool. So I mean, just a bunch of little games there you can play, but I mean overall, probably the coolest aspect of it is the case itself.
And that gives you a little history on some of the creatures and villains too, it looks like.
Yeah, that's true. There's actually monster mazes too. There's puzzle pass. us. I mean, and where are you too? I mean, there's just a lot of really cool ones. I mean, we could go through all of those probably in its own separate thing. But let's go ahead and check the value on this one. Obviously, it's not sealed. Even though, I mean, I guess we could put it partially sealed.
There's a little plastic lining.
But not sealed for sure. Okay, so one sold for 35 to 40, but that one also had the marker and also the wipe. So I'd say without those things, maybe $25. So 25 bucks added to our total. And we have one more Scooby item here, and then we're on to the grand piece here.
That's a satisfying number. We're at 555.
555. Yes, it's way better than one more digit up. That's for sure. Next up here, we have a big box PC game. And this is Scooby-Doo and the Jinx Binks. And this guy right here is a awesome. I used to play so many of these as a kid, so you can see it's a pretty solid quality game because the graphics are just kind of like the show, you know? So you're trying, it's essentially like these, but if it was a PC game. It has multiple different mini games you can play and help you learn. And big box PC means that it's got like more of a bigger statue, more of a billboard for the product in itself. And the other best thing about these big box games is you got a center flap you can open up.
Hey.
Yeah, so you get some more detail on the game as well. But we've gotten inside of these before with the Nickelodeon one. You get inside of them though, and it's just literally just a disc. It's just a disc in there. The box is just like everything for no reason. But that was just how they did it at this time for some reason. I don't 100% know why. Besides just maybe making it easier to spot than a little disc, you know?
That, and maybe it's just like, oh, the kid might be more intrigued, you know, to see what it is.
Yeah, exactly. The intrigue factor of it. Okay, so with the game itself just sealed, like just the disc box, is $25. This is the big box variation, which means that's sealed inside of it and the big box is sealed. So I'm gonna say probably easy $35.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, I would never find those either.
Yeah, big box PC games are super collectible because the cardboard is super malleable, similar to like how we talk about the GBA games, in this case, Phil of the Future. They're super squishable, destructible, and they're big too. So moving, most people threw them away because the disc is already in there, you know, with the case, or they got crushed while moving or whatever it may be. So it's hard to really find big box PC games in good shape, and especially more obscure things on the scale of PC gaming like Scooby-Doo, Spongebob, Nick Kart Racing. So 35 is a pretty fair, I think, solid price. So that brings us to $590. It looked like 60 from over here because it was upside down.
That's right.
$590. Unbelievable. And now for the final item.
Which is already, just in that alone, we've technically tripled.
Almost tripled, yeah, almost tripled that starting point. And for the final item, this is a very obscure show, maybe not a lot of you guys have even seen, and that is the Class of 3000.
What the heck?
Yes, this is Class of 3000, and this is a action figure set, but this show didn't have a lot of products. So this is actually a promotional box that was made for Cartoon Network employees, executives, and for companies to, I think what they were probably trying to do was make a line. So this is a promo box. And they have one of these for Foster's Home. They have one for Camp Laszlo. They have a couple of them they made that are promotional ones, and they're pretty expensive, anywhere ranging from $100 to some cases $300. This one though is the Class of 3000 one, which is probably one of the more rare ones because it's such an obscure show. And if you don't know what Class of 3000 is, sorry Miss Jackson, ooh, I won't tell you. No, the musician Andre 3000, who, you know, made so many iconic songs that a lot of you guys may have heard, actually created a cartoon show for Cartoon Network called Class of 3000, and it features Andre himself here as a music teacher and many of the different students as well. And this is just brilliant to me. I mean, I love Class of 3000 as a kid, and I mean, I love it in a sense like I would buy like this, but like having a lot of collectibles for it would be like, okay, it's a lot of space, you know? But this is a perfect just like encapsulator item because it has Andre and all the main kids that he was teaching to, and I have little D right here as well too. And I think like one of the songs, like the ones I remember the most, I think I've talked about before, is Little D's song in the show called We Want Your Soul, which talks about Little D getting into the music industry and the like CEOs and like corporate people wanting his soul. And literally that was like something they put in a kid's show. And you know, kind of dark and hard to unthink about, but nonetheless it was a very ahead of its time show and like very artistically done, you know, by Andre. So incredible work on the show. Didn't last super long, but it was cool that they at least made this promo box. And you can tell it's not in perfect shape. This one's definitely a little bit beaten up here. We have some wrinkles right here. You got a little dent down there. Some overall scrapage here on the front as the piano keys. But the thing is good though is that they actually protected all the figures in there. So the figures are still in great shape. Let's go ahead and get a price on this. I have no clue, but I have a feeling it's gonna be, you know, something nice to add to our list there. Okay, so the most recent one we were able to find, this one sold for $200. So this one, let's take a look at the condition on it. I mean, it's not in perfect shape either, this one. Like, there's a lot of dings in it. I'd say it's a little bit better shape than this one though. So I'm thinking at the little bear minimum, maybe 120.
I mean, even then, though, it's like you probably still could go a little higher and would be okay.
Yeah, I'm just going, we went low on a lot of prices today, but just to make sure that we are in the clear, 120 for the box there. So overall, that brings our grand total to $710 for this Cartoon Network haul, and I think that may have been one of the biggest values we've ever had on this collection buying series.
I think that is the biggest value. That isn't like yeah, even Funkos were the only ones that may have surpassed that.
I think, yeah, nothing. I mean, we had some Spongebob ones that have gone to like $200-300. I think maybe the most like $400, but this is we're almost at $1,000. And like Mitchell said earlier, it is more of a testament to Cartoon Network's rarity and limited numbers of their products that kind of number can even be done here. So I mean, I was worried about spending that $200, but you know, looking back at it in hindsight, it was a pretty damn good deal.
Yeah.
That was not bad. All right, so on that note, man, we got to cover some amazing stuff here today. Obviously, probably a huge aspect of the value was these two guys right here, but still overall there were so many cool things here that were able to add to that total. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, especially you guys that are Cartoon Network fans, Cartoon Network heads, as I'm deciding to call you guys. You know, they're sneaker heads. You guys are Cartoon Network heads that love Cartoon Network. We got to cover so many different Cartoon Network shows, including some very obscure ones as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. Don't forget we got merch. Don't forget you can support us on Patreon now for only $2, and you also get extended versions of the videos with more details, deeper dives into stuff, and just more comfort cartoons. And there's other tiers as well that come with early releases and a bunch of other stuff. Stay tuned, we'll talk about that more and add some of this stuff to the collection. But before that, you know the drill. Stan it! Okay, so for the Class of 3000s box, I put it right back here. I eventually had to get rid of that Titans box, so I'm finally glad we had something to take that thing's place. So we have the Monopoly, the Powerpuff Girls Monopoly right there, which that too could be taken over one day if we get a sealed one or something like that, but still really dope. We have the promo box here, we have the Punch Time Explosion tin, and we also have the Powerpuff Girls tin here. But perfectly in this spot, we have that Class of 3000s box, and man, does that colors, Cartoon Network, I mean, I don't give them enough credit. Nickelodeon does an amazing job with their brand synchronicity, but it blends in pretty well there with everything else going on.
Especially Foster's, like it's identical, like blue, pink, and orange. Blue, pink, and orange.
It's true. They did a good job of like getting that same kind of like almost 70s like pastel flow coloring done. So looks fantastic right there. So we have that added as well. And then for the bin 10 Protector of Earth, I put that here with some of our other Cartoon Network related video games. I put this one right here as well too. I do need to get a case for this one eventually, but it's kind of a weird size. I also realized we have Protector of Earth on the DS too, sealed, which is probably a whole different game altogether. And for the clock, I put that right there like I said I was going to, the Howling Hours clock. And I didn't get rid of our Bendy figures. They're being held up here by our Scooby-Doo Halloween display. And next to that, we have the Scooby-Doo ramp as well. So that's the stuff that I added to the collection here today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, for the bubbles, I'm keeping that in the collection too, but I just don't want to put it on display until I have a place that's mine maybe for like really high-end stuff like that, because it's so fragile. I'd hate for anything to happen to it. So for right now, it's just going to be going to the vault to be preserved and protected, and as it should. Okay, so on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smack the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel so much. We're inching our way towards 100,000 subscribers. We just passed 80,000, and we have an awesome video that we're hoping to do for 100K too. So make sure you guys subscribe, all that great stuff, so we can get there a little closer. And also, if you guys want to support the show further, don't forget we are on Patreon, and you can join now for $2 a month. You get an extended version of the video, but as I was saying earlier, you also have some other tiers as well where you can get early releases along with some other perks as well. Huge shout out to the big Patreons of the month in the Rep Pack royalty. Shout out to Taz Watsky. Shout out to Storm X Quick. Shout out to List of Legends. Shout out to Prismatic Phantom, Yanis Torres, It's Big Little, Kevin Nguyen, Later, A Castle, Real Queen G, Gabriella, and also Don the Whale. Thank you guys so much for making everything that we do here possible. We appreciate you guys and have so much love for everything you guys do. And if you guys want to be a part of any of the stuff that ends up not staying in the collection, go follow us on Whatnot, where you get 15 bucks off of your first order for free. And we also stream there every single Friday. Plus, we do giveaways every single week. We're probably gonna add this into the grand prize giveaway for this December. So if you want to pick this guy up, you'll get it for absolutely free with a special gift giveaway that we're doing in December. So if you guys want to be a part of that, go check out the Whatnot and make sure you guys stay posted on the streams. We're getting into December here, so any week now we could be doing the grand prize giveaway. But on that note, I'll see you guys over here. And as always, Rep Pack, I'll see you beautiful people in the next one. Adios and bloop.